Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me using some new, some old products, just kind of sprinkling in what's new. I did buy a few things recently, so I wanted to go ahead and use them on camera and just kind of show you the new stuff that I got. Some things will be like first impression-y. Some of them I have dabbled in a little bit off of camera, so I'm excited to share them with you. So without further ado, let's get started with the video. Not that I styled my hair today, but this helps keep those like little wispies out of my forehead area. Okay, so let's see. My face is pretty moisturized, so I don't know that I necessarily need primer today. Let's go in with a little bit of the e.l.f. Poreless. This is not the luminous one. This is just the normal pore filling one. This just helps to make my pores look a little bit smaller in this area where I have more visible pores. It's so rainy and gross here. I was driving on the highway today, and like normally a highway that's like 65 or 70, everybody was going like 35 because it was just the rain and all that stuff makes these like huge puddles that make you slip and slide around, and I was not for it. I'm going to go in with my Dose of Colors foundation, nothing new here. I'm going to use a new, not really new, concealer. So I wanted to use a foundation that I know how it works because I use it a lot. And I feel like I've said this before in other videos. I like to, a lot of people might say this is wrong, but I don't know that there's necessarily right and wrong when it comes to makeup. I like to start on the outskirts of my face with foundation and blend it inwards, because I find that those are the areas, A, where I end up needing more coverage anyway, just because it's just like uneven texture and all that on the outskirts of my face. And also because I just find when I put, because I put so much like brightener and concealer and all that stuff in the center of my face, I find that it just starts to get to be like too much if I start in the center of my face. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just ends up being too much coverage, too much makeup in the center of my face. So that's kind of why I like to start on the outer portions and blend inwards, because then I don't go overboard on the center and then cake on concealer or whatever on top of that. I just went to Target the other day. Well, I guess yesterday when I'm filming this. And I got some new makeup stuff, just like random crap. Every time I go to Target, I end up just like getting a bunch of random stuff that I probably don't need. And I'm wearing my friend's t-shirt again. I feel like I might only have been one other video that I wore this, but like it makes me feel like I've worn it too many times when I've now worn it in 2 videos out of the what, like 12, 15 that I uploaded. Shows how much I love Friends. Okay, so for concealer today, I'm going to use the, what is this? The Maybelline Age Rewind concealer. This one was like super popular, like back in the day. This was like everybody's go-to. And I had it and I used it up and I really liked it, but I haven't really used it since then. So I was like, well, I feel like I need to try this again because it's been a long time. It is kind of weird because it has this like spongy tip, which I don't love because it can get pretty messy, but that's okay. If it's a nice concealer, I'm okay with that. So we're just gonna blend this out. The coverage actually looks really nice. Okay, I'm finding that I probably should have blended that a little bit quicker. Maybe done like one eye at a time. It's giving me a little bit of trouble blending out like the harsher lines. I'm just gonna add a little here. I don't know if it was the concealer that moved around my foundation right there, or if I just didn't put enough foundation in that spot. I need a little more over here too. I'm just wondering if maybe it was the concealer that kind of moved it around, because I was blending pretty hard because I probably should have blended it a little bit quicker. Okay, I'm pretty happy with where that landed, actually. I'll try to cover up that mountain of a zit. Okay, so for powder today, this is a new product that I got from Target the other day, and it is the No. 7 Lift and Luminate powder. This is in the shade Light. This was recommended by Jessica Braun. I've been watching her YouTube videos like literally nonstop, just pretty much binging them and loving them. She does like makeup videos, lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. And I just think that she's pretty awesome. So she said that this was a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless like airbrush finishing powder. So I was like, I need to buy this because this is $12. So, oh my, you guys, okay. It's gonna be impossible for you to see this on camera, but when I tell you, it completely blurred my pores. Like, completely blurred. I am absolutely shocked. This looks so pretty. I don't know what else to say other than this looks exquisite. This powder is beautiful. I'm a little bit shook at how beautiful this looks. I'm not going to set my whole face because that foundation does dry down, so I don't really need to, but this stuff's amazing. This is going to absolutely replace my Maybelline Fit Me powder for my under eyes. I can already tell. It's just like so smooth and nice. Oh my gosh, I really like it. I just have no words. I am noticing though that I'm not totally loving how the concealer is laying. There are other drugstore concealers that I like more than this one. So I'm going to continue to use this and I'll probably use it up just because why not? But I don't know. I'm not like living for it. I don't know. There's other drugstore concealers that I like more than that one. So it's fine. But if you want a drugstore concealer, I would say that the e.l.f. hydrating one is leaps and bounds better than this one. The Neutrogena one is really great too. This one just looks like it's kind of breaking up a little bit, which I don't love. So again, I'll use it up, but it's not my favorite from the drugstore. Okay, for bronzer today, I'm going to use my Milani Silky Matte Bronzer. This is in the shade Sunlight. I feel like I haven't really used this on camera much, if at all. I really like it. It's a really nice, pretty, like natural looking bronzer. If you have any skin tone that's like deeper than mine though, you're gonna want to get a shade darker than this one because this one's almost even too light for me. Like a little bit of a deeper bronzer, but this is good for like every day and you really can't mess it up, which I like because it's really hard to go overboard. I feel like it always shows up better too when I don't fully set my foundation. So if you want it to be a little bit deeper, I would definitely do that. I feel like also the lights kind of blow it out. My lights kind of blow out the color a little bit, but it's really pretty. Okay, for blush today, I think I'm going to use this one. This is the Tarte Amazonian Clay in the shade Blushing Bride. The Tarte blushes are so pretty. They stay on forever. I just find that like, and this color is really pretty. I just like don't like to spend a bunch of money on blushes. I love blush, but I just find there's so many good blushes at the drugstore that I feel like I just don't need to spend, what are these, like almost $30, I think, 20 something. That just is a lot. I got this one in like, Tarte always does their little like packs where they'll be like 6 full-size products for $60 or something. So I did that one time. And this was in that, and honestly, it was kind of worth it. So, because I got like, I think I got like a mascara and this and a foundation and a couple of things. And I was like, that's kind of worth it. So, and this will last you forever. It's pretty big for a blush. And I really, really like this one. Okay, I think I'm gonna be doing a little more of like a golden look on the eyes. So I wanna go in with a more golden highlighter. This is the Anastasia X Ombrezzy highlighter. This was limited edition, so I don't think that you can get this anymore, unfortunately, but if you have it, it is just so pretty. I use this really all the time. It's just such a pretty highlighter. It's like a golden, but it's still light. It's golden, but it's like still fit for a lot of skin tones. And I just really like it. Another one that's very similar to this from the drugstore is the Believe Beauty one that I use all the time. I just have had this one longer. So also since it's summertime, I do have like freckles on my nose. So I feel like sometimes in these videos you can kind of see my little freckles peeking through on my nose. Honestly, people love a freckle moment, so not even mad at it. Okay, and then before we get into the eyeshadow, I'm gonna do brows really quickly. I bought this e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil in the shade Neutral Brown. I'm kind of excited to try this because it was like, I don't know, like $2 or $3. The tip is like kind of big for a brow pencil, so we'll see if I like it. I'll test out one brow on camera. Yeah, the packaging is kind of like hefty. It feels hefty. Like this is really thick. Not used to that. It goes on really nice. The color seems to be pretty good. That's always the thing with brow pencils, is the shade more than anything. I feel like a lot of brow pencils pretty much perform the same. Some are waxier than others, some are smoother and creamier, but generally speaking, they're all pretty much the same. It's just gonna be whatever color preference you have and what brand can give you the color that matches your brows. Okay, color match is actually really good. I feel like sometimes brow pencils at the drugstore pull a little bit too warm. This I think looks pretty good actually. I feel like the match is pretty nice. Okay, I'm gonna do the other brow off of camera really quickly and I'll be right back. Okay, I finished my eyebrows off of camera and I ended up putting a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape on my lids to prime my eyes. The brow pencil looks nice, like for color, it's a really good color. However, it's a little confusing because it got super dull. Like, I don't know if you can see this. My camera doesn't autofocus, of course, but it gets so dull that I'm like, how do I make precise lines on my eyebrows? So I don't love that. I'll probably use it up because I don't want to waste it, but like, it's a little tough to use. Also, side note, do you guys eat Dots pretzels? Have you heard of these? They're like seasoned and delicious, and this is a snacks video now. I buy them at Target. They're delicious, and I don't know what they put on them. This is just like the original seasoned kind. I highly recommend them. They have a little bit of a kick, kind of like more of like a black pepper kind of kick, not like spicy, but they are so good. So if you can find these, get 2 bags because their bags are small and you're gonna want a second bag. Okay, now that my eyes are primed and decreased, today I'm going to use the Naked Honey palette from Urban Decay. I strangely have never bought a Naked palette from Urban Decay. Like, the fact that I'm such a makeup lover and have never actually bought an Urban Decay Naked palette is beyond me. But I saw so many people talk about this one and how beautiful it is. And like the tones in here, they're just like so pretty. They're like me to a T. They're just neutrals. And it's something that like anybody could use. Like, doesn't matter your skill level. Like, this is going to be a palette that you can use for sure. And it comes with a little brush. I normally don't love these, but this is actually pretty nice. And you can see I've used it. So I've used this palette twice. So we're going to go in again and use her for the first time on camera. So the first shade that I think I'm gonna go in with is this shade here, Swarm. And I'm just gonna put that on a fluffy brush. This is the JH30 brush. And I'm just going to place that in the crease. These shadows are really pigmented. They blend super nicely. I'm so glad that I bought this. I wanted to try it off camera first to like make sure I really liked it before I put it in this video. And I do. It's so, so pretty. So good for every day. Or, I mean, you can make it glam. You can make it extra with some of the like deeper shades and some of the shimmers and stuff. And I just really like it. I just think it's really pretty and totally worth it. You can buy this at Ulta. You can buy it at Sephora. You can buy it off Urban Decay's website. They sell in quite a few retailers, so hopefully you could find one near you that sells this. If you want it, I think it's so worth it. I'm just gonna take this underneath my eye too. This brush kind of has a little bit of a like tip at the top, so it's kind of nice for under eye. Okay, next I'm gonna tip into the shade Keeper right here, and I'm just gonna use the exact same brush. Just kind of go pretty much over top where we just put that other color. Kind of blend the two together just to make them look nice and blown out. They just blend so nicely. I don't necessarily know that this is the case with every single Urban Decay Naked palette though, because I've heard there has been some like differences when it comes to formulation. So I would just be careful. Oh, I got that in my eye. I would just be careful if you're wanting to try an Urban Decay palette. I would just see if other people have maybe reviews of it or what other people think. Maybe check out a couple of different videos or reviews and stuff like that and just see what other people think, because I don't think that it's necessarily true that all of these Urban Decay palettes are treated the same. So I would just do a little bit of research before you go like blasting and buying 47 Urban Decay palettes. I do love this one. And then also the Born to Run palette is another palette that I really love and I get so much use out of. So if you want to use me as your recommendation, then those would be the two Urban Decay palettes that I've tried and I really like both of them. Okay, so next, I think I want to go in with the deepest shade here, Sting, on this like really small pencil brush. This is the JH38 brush. And I'm just going to put that right in the crease and on the outer corner to really deepen that up. Kind of running it on the lash line, almost like a liner. Then I'm going to take that color too and put it on the lower lash line, a little bit tighter, and connect it with the top. Just creating kind of like a soft cat eye vibe. I'm just going to do the same thing on the other eye. Okay, I kept building and building and building that up, and I ended up blending it out with a little bit of that shade Swarm again, just to make sure it looked nice and blended. That shade was a little bit more difficult to work with. It did take me a little bit longer to get it to where I wanted it to be, but it's like a deep chocolate brown. I expect that to be a little bit more difficult to work with, so nothing really to report. I really want to go in with this like super yellowy shade right here, Honey. I think I'm going to do it with a brush actually for more precision. This is the JH41 brush. It's like a flat guy. And let's see, should I spray the brush? No, you know, I want this to be more subtle. Okay, that's still pretty pigmented. It's really fun, like almost greeny yellow. It's a really pretty and like unique color. So I'm just like swiping and patting this on the inner portion of the lid. And then once I have that, I'm gonna go in with the shade. Let's do this one. HBIC it's called. It's this like shimmer shade right next to the very last deep brown shade. And I'm just gonna put that in the middle, connecting it with that like greeny yellow shade. And then what I'll do is I'm just gonna take the brush that comes with it and just very lightly blend in the crease just to make sure it's not super harsh or anything. I don't want it to look like a harsh crease shade, so I'm kind of blending it so it's a little more ethereal looking. I think that looks really fun. So I'm going to take a smaller brush, M170-4, and I'm gonna dip back into that honey shade, which is that like greeny yellow gold. And I'm gonna get in there, and then you know what? I'm gonna spray the brush with some setting spray. And I'm gonna put this on the lower lash line, actually, right here, just to give it a little something, just kind of from like inner corner to the middle of my eye. And then I think I will take the HBIC shade, the other shade that we use on the top lid, and put that in the middle. It just gives like a little something. And then I just wiped off that brush. I'm gonna go into that first shade, Flyby, and just ever so lightly gonna put it under the brow bone. Just want a little something. And then just a teens in the very inner corner. Oh, I think that that looks really pretty. Okay, and like I said, I love this. I think that this is such a pretty palette. You can do such beautiful neutral looks, and I've really been enjoying it. I think I'm actually going to use a little bit of brown eyeliner. This is the LA Girl Ultimate Eye Intense Stay Auto Liner. I think this is in, oh, it's in the shade Lasting Brown, and I'm just gonna put that on the waterline. Okay, so I put it on the bottom waterline, then I did add just a little bit on the outer edge of the top lash line as well. And then I'm just gonna pop on some mascara, and I will be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and threw on my Bambi Eyes mascara. This is in like a dark brown color, which I thought would be really flattering with this eye look, and I think it looks really pretty. I also threw some brow gel into the brows, which is my Glossier Boy Brow, the classic everyday brow gel that I always use. And so today for lips, I'm thinking I'm just gonna go with like some sort of like nudish color. Yeah, let's do this. This is the Maybelline Just Color Sensational Lipstick in the shade Totally Toffee. This is like one of my favorites ever. And then I've been seeing I've been seeing my girl Raw Beauty Christy do this. She will just like take a brush and just like feather out the edges so that her lipstick is not like totally perfect and it's just like a little bit diffused. I think that looks really pretty. Yeah, I really like that. The last thing we have to do is setting spray. So today I'm gonna use the Catrice. This one's brand new. So this always has like weird, like glittery particles. Not glittery, it's more like iridescence that's in this. So you do have to like shake it pretty good the first time you're gonna use it because this is a brand new one. I'm like completely out of the old one. So now that that's all shaken up, this one has a really nice mister. And I think there we have it. So that is today's look using some new, some old products. I think that it turned out so pretty. I love the way that this looks. I think this would be like such a beautiful look for the fall or really anytime at all. But I think that this eyeshadow palette is stunning. Like the camera doesn't really do that like greeny gold a lot of justice. And in person, it's just like chef's kiss. It's beautiful. With that, that ends today's video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post new videos twice a week. So if you want to know when I post, please hit the notification bell and you'll be notified every single time I post a video. Also comment down below if there's anything that you want to see on my channel, specific looks or specific ideas for videos. I am going to be filming a couple this week. So yeah, just let me know what your thoughts are and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.